Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Usually with full cover tips we will actually put stuff inside the nail so it doesn't bulk. Today we're going to be doing it a bit different because I'm going to be putting it on top of the nail, covering it with hard gel and hoping it comes out alright. So as you can see, I've already got the full cover tips on. What I've done here is just refine the shape so that they actually are a nice sharp coffin, that they don't kind of change the shape when you put build gel on top, and I've just buffed the surface. Now we want the product to stick on, so I am using a base coat today. I am using a very thin layer, and this is also a thin viscosity base coat. What this means is it doesn't build, it is a thin product. Can be a bit runny, but just flash cure in between if it starts running away from you. So starting at the free edge, pulling down a thin amount. Before I start to move up, push gently towards the cuticles. Do not get product on the cuticles or the skin, and then come down on each side. I've also had some product on these full cover tips already, and where I've removed that, the base coat will help kind of fill in the ridges and the grooves from where I filed it off. So it'll give us a nice smooth surface to work on. So I'm going to do all of them, and then I'm going to give them a full cure. Now we are using Saviland's hard gel today, and I use this a lot. I'm just going to get out a small scoop that I'm going to put in a clear container. Now if this was a gel that I wanted to keep, I would put it in a dark container so that it didn't get any UV rays on it and then cure in the jar, but this is only just for this video, so I'm not too fussed. So I've got my little fruit slices ready, and on the nails that I'm putting them down, I'm putting down a little bit of builder gel first that I'm not going to cure. Now I'm going to place them, and I'm going to try to be a bit thoughtful when I do it. I don't want the biggest ones kind of sticking up, so I wouldn't lay them on the curviest part of the nail. Try to sort of place them so that they lay nicely. I mean, you can move them around and play with them for a little bit. And if I want to try to make smaller pieces to fit it a little bit better, I've just got an old pair of cuticle nippers. I feel that these are the easiest way, and just kind of snip them into the sizes that you want. Now when I'm happy with that, I am going to give it a cure before I move on to the next one. Now I'm going to do the exact same thing here. Just make sure that I don't put any of the bigger pieces on the curviest part of the nail so that it starts sticking up. I'm not going to be putting a massive amount down, just a few to kind of emphasize it a little bit. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to encapsulate these in clear. I am going to take a small amount that I'm going to kind of float over the fruit slices, but what I want to make sure is I want to make sure that I've got gel underneath the slices as well, so that we haven't like got little air pockets as we build the nail out, or not build, but you know what I mean. So just make sure that you get the gel into all those nooks and crannies. And you do not need to use piles, this is just to kind of cover all the little bits and give us a nice even surface. So same thing again, when that's cured I'm going to go in on the other finger and kind of fill in all the spaces and encapsulate it and give it a nice surface.
Tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. Guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to grey.
It is Born Pretty's gel colour. It is gorgeous on its own. I don't know if I was supposed to be using it like this, but I thought to myself, mixing this with clear is going to give me a beautiful sheer pink. I don't want to start out with a lot. I'm just going to put a couple of drops in to start with. And with my spatula thing, I'm just going to mix it. Now I'm not stirring vigorously, and what I'm kind of trying to do is paddle it to the sides and then squeeze it flat so that I don't have lots of air bubbles in it. You can also use a spatula and do this on tile, that is also a very good option. Or you can throw it in a pot and just mix it around, but you might not get the best result by doing that. When I apply it, I don't start on the cuticle, I start just below. Then I start to kind of push it up with the gel in front of my brush, and then out to the sides. I only use small circular motions, I don't kind of push and bounce it up and down. Again, we do not want bubbles and we don't want it going into the skin. And this is a very easy gel to work with. And then when we get to the free edge, we're going to kind of swivel it down and then pull it over so that it goes flat. So I've amped up the pink just a little bit here, added a bit more because I kind of want it to increase a little bit as we go along. So just kind of pulling a thin layer down the nail first so I know where to guide the gel. And I'm going to do the exact same thing. Pillow up towards the cuticles, small circular motions, then come down like in a swiveling fashion and then pull it straight across the free edge. And by doing this and mixing sometimes your own gels, first of all you get the custom colours, and second of all you can save yourself some money. So again, I am just going to do the pinky plain. And remember, you are not building any structure. You don't need to think about building high apexes or stress areas or what have you. As I said, the nail is already there. But just a nice thin coat and come down with that. The only problem is sometimes with translucent colours, you can see your natural nail underneath. And, well, I don't know, sometimes we kind of tend to get a little bit of dirt. So in the area, I think I'm just going to put down some gems afterwards. I'll find a little trick. So as usual, winging it. Now what I decided to do here, I've put down a tiny thin coat of base coat because I said it's so super thin. I haven't cured it and I'm going to put down some chunky glitter. Be mindful again of the sizes of the glitter, of where you place them. I just kind of wanted a bit of shimmer in a nail, so I'm not using the biggest pieces. So when I'm done with that, I'm just going to set it slightly in the lamp with the base coat, and then I am going to go in with the regular hard gel. Now just remember one thing, hard gel has to be filed off, and often these full cover tips are soak off. You can take them off in acetone. By putting hard gel on top, you do run the risk of having to actually file a bit before you can soak the tips off, because this can interfere. And like I said, hard gel will not soak off with acetone. So on the thumb, we are going to really intensify the pink. I've added some more, mixed that out. I'm going to do like a nail bed first. So I am just going to kind of try to follow the shape. And I'm just going to bring it down a little bit further than my natural nail that you can see through the tip. Working in small circular motions. What you have to remember with this is that you need to have a ledge. Well, you don't need to, but I would recommend that you have a ledge, because that means you can file it afterwards. Because that is going to give you a nice sharp smile line. If you haven't got anything to file, or it's too flat and it kind of just glides in, you'll lose out on the opportunity to really sharpen it up. So put a little bit more product than you think you need down. And I've actually done this in 2 steps, so I didn't kind of have everything running everywhere. And gel is like a trust the process kind of thing. It's looking ugly right now, but I promise when you fold it, it will really look nice. So okay, I'm just going to finish that off, and then I'm going to give that a full cure. I've taken that out of the lamp, and I'm just going to wipe off the tacky layer with some alcohol on a pad. Now some of you are going to be laughing, because this is what we call an emery board. These are files that have been around forever. They're like thin flimsy wooden file things. And I remember my nan and my mum used to have these, so these have been around forever. I know it sounds stupid, but these are really great to file a smile line with, and you can actually get a lot sharper than with the traditional thicker file. But as I said, they are flimsy, so when you file you will need to support it. But I do have these laying around actually, so I've decided to try and use them a bit more. So just come around and give it that really nice sharp edge. And what I'm going to do is I am just going to wipe the dust off before I go in with a little tiny bit more base coat again that I'm not going to cure. I'm going to do it as the same as the index. I am going to lay the glitter into the nail because I've got some space here, into the uncured base coat. I'm just going to freeze that for a few seconds before I put down a little bit of builder again, because I could have put it all in the builder gel, but then I always feel like I've got everything smushing around, so I just like to do things in parts. And then I'm going to come in with my fruit slices, and these are like apples and strawberries, very summery. Now when you fill that with clear builder, make sure that you don't leave a gap. It doesn't matter if you come over the nail bed, because you're going to file that even afterwards, so just make sure the whole thing is filled in. So give that a full cure. Okay, here comes the fun part. When these are done, we are going to wipe all the sticky layer off. And then I'm actually going to use my emery board to file. Just, you can see how I kind of support it with my finger on the sides. And if you have got a new one, these have actually got a bit of bite to them. Now, I didn't pile loads and loads and loads of gel on, so I haven't really got a lot to file off. All I'm going to do is I'm going to refine the sides slightly with this emery board of mine. And I'm actually going to use my e-file with a sanding band. Now, if you've watched any of my other videos, you know that I don't remove bulk with a sanding band, but there isn't really any bulk here to remove. This is just kind of straightening everything out and giving it a nicer shape. So just whip round the cuticles and down the side walls. And of course, I'm going to do that to all the other nails as well. And I'm actually surprised about how nice these are actually turning out. I thought they was going to be one of these discarded videos because they were going to be bulky and ugly, but no, they're not actually. Before I put any gems on them, I am going to put down a thin coat of top coat. Not only a thin coat, but also a thin viscosity top coat. That means it's not a thick one. Avoid the bulk. Now, of course, all the products are linked below. And the application here is the same as the base coat. Free edge first, and then work your way up to the cuticle and down each side. Make sure you put enough on, but you don't want to drown it. That's not necessary. But you need to cover the nail so that you get a nice, smooth, even surface. And this is a no wipe, so this means that when it's done, it doesn't have a tacky layer, which is quite nice. That will save you some pads as well. Save you some money. I've put something called a gem glue into a little tray, and I'm going to be taking that out with a small liner brush. Now, I don't put gems or crystals, call them whatever, into the top coat like we used to, or use regular nail glue because I feel that they come off. For really, really big gems and embellishments, you might want to think about using acrylic, builder gel or polygel to actually stick them down. But for like small to medium gems, these gem glues are great. This is Beetle's one. Start off with like a little butterfly embellishment. I think it's so cute. Now, I think you're supposed to put them the other way so it actually sticks up, but I think that's going to annoy me, so I've kind of curved it and put it down on the nail instead. A tiny amount of the gel glue up and putting that down. I'm going to place that butterfly on there. Make sure you flash cure in between, because otherwise, if it slips around, first of all, it loses its placement, and second of all, you can kind of get like little slide marks on the nail from the gem glue, and that doesn't look very nice. That'll ruin the kind of the glossiness of the top coat. I thought it'd be nice just to put some gems in the butterfly as well, just to give it some colour. So I'm just picking up a few bits and bobs, and I really love these. Oh, so cute. When I'm done playing around with that, I will give it a full cure, which is like 60 seconds. And I am going to do the same on the middle finger. We are using a couple of medium-sized rhinestones, but I am still not drowning the nail in the glue gel. That's not necessary. Just put enough so that you can actually put the stone down. You don't want it pushing out all over the sides. And if you get top coat or this gem glue on the gems, they will lose their shine. So make sure you don't do that. Last but not least, I don't know, actually I think I should have done the gems a bit different on this one, but I did end up doing like a cuff that follows kind of the small line rounds. Yeah, it's okay, but I could have done it a bit different, but anyway, shit happens. I'm going to finish the gems off, I'm going to give them a full cure, and then we can have a look at the final result. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this. Please like, subscribe, and then hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any more nail crazy. Until next time, bye.